So let's go. Alright, so yeah, I kind of have to cut this short with that sun in my eyes, but I had a good time, even though it was only about an hour or so, 45 minutes of actual riding. Hey neighbor, good morning. Can I ask for a favor?
Bring it down?
Just stand over there and tell me if I need to go more left or more right.
Okay.
What's going on?
All right there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
Here's a nice find.
Hey guys, this is John Davis, aka Stimpy77. It's been a long time since I've posted, a very long time. In fact, since I had a real video, I think it's been like maybe even a year? I'm not sure. So we got a lot to cover because I'm about to get started again. I'm going to be posting again more often than I have, obviously. And so before I do, I want to go over where I've been. As you can see, I've still got my little CRF 250L, my Pippi. I don't have any other bikes in here. And so you guys remember I had the Honda Shadow, the Ace. That thing sounded amazing. I didn't do much with that on video, but I did a battery replacement. Who cares about a battery replacement? So you might be wondering what happened to that. And then also, where's my concourse? I love that concourse. I really did love my concourse. Where is it? So I'm going to go over that. I'm also going to go over where I've been. So first of all, let's start with the Shadow. So the Shadow, great bike. Sounded great. Enjoyed it. Loved it. Felt wonderful. It was fast and comfortable. Fast enough anyway. So what happened? Well, an incident happened, and I'm not going to say it was a wreck, because there was no wreck. It boils down to a little thing called an oil cap. Okay, I was not the original owner, and I believe that the original oil cap, I'm just going to guess here, I don't know, but I believe there was probably a rubber grommet thing, some kind of piece of rubber that goes between the top of the cap and the bottom of where it screws in. I don't know what you call it. I'm thinking that there was one because there wasn't one on mine. So when I checked the oil, filled it up, whatever, I turned it and I turned it tight. But it was like turn, and stop. And it was like there was no wiggle room. Like it wouldn't tighten any further. It just suddenly stop. So you push it harder and like go like maybe a little bit more, but anyway, I would assume that there should be some rubber resistance or something like that. Anyway, so you can imagine what happened. I went to an event. I'm a software developer. I went to an event. It was a Code Camp event, Desert Code Camp. Great event, by the way, if you're in Arizona and you're a software developer. Great education for free. But anyway, I was coming back from that event, taking the 202, and I'm riding along and I'm looking around and people are looking at me funny. Like I see some guy on a dual sport bike and he's looking straight over at me and he's looking at me like bikers see bikers all the time. But they were acting kind of funny, so I don't know what's going on. So I keep going for miles and miles. 20 minutes later, because it's a long ride, a truck comes up beside me from behind and he's doing this. Like, look at your engine. And I'm like, I don't see nothing. So he does it again. Look at your engine. So finally I'm starting to realize things are getting kind of wet down there. So he just gives me a thumbs up and drives off. And I'm like, and it turns out my foot, my whole leg, the whole bike, from the gas tank all the way to the back, all over the tire. Everything is covered in oil. And I've been spraying oil onto all of the cars behind me. All the cars behind me had oil all over their front end. I can't imagine how frustrating that would be for them. Me, I still got to get home. So I've pulled over and I'm looking at all of this mess and I'm like, what do I do? Okay, I'm going to take my chances. I mean, the engine's been running fine. I mean, the oil cap is dangling. The oil cap has been dangling this whole time on the dipstick like this, hanging off the hole from the dipstick, like just in the wind, just dangling like this. So I'm like, okay, well, the engine's been running. It doesn't sound any different. So I'm just going to retighten it and go 1.5 more miles to the gas station. Hopefully that'll be fine. It's not, I mean, I've been going for 25 miles. So I get to the gas station and I buy 2 quarts of regular motor oil. I put them in and it's still not full. I put the dipstick in. I still can't even see it on the dipstick. So was it 2 quarts? I don't remember. I put at least was it 2 quarts? I don't know. At least a quart. I know I had at least 1 quart. But anyway, I put in a quart at least, maybe 2. I still couldn't see it on the dipstick, but I knew I put some oil in, enough to get me home, hopefully. So I tightened it up. I left. I went straight to the car wash. I hosed off all that excess oil. And then I came home. I parked it. It's still got a few drips of oil, so I'm still wiping it down, and I'm just looking at it right here in this garage, and I'm just looking at this thing like, what the heck just happened? I have no idea what happened there. I mean, I guess I know what happened. I lost a bunch of oil. But what I mean is, it's a Honda engine. I don't know if I destroyed that engine or not. It sounded the same. It was still wet from the oil. So, I don't know. I had a hard time riding that thing ever again. So, in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I decided I'm just going to sell this thing and just forget about this whole thing. It's kind of like the old school teenage horror movies where you just want to forget about what happened. I just wanted to forget about what happened. I don't know you. We'll be friends, okay? We'll remember each other. Goodbye. I just wanted to walk away. So I put it out on Craigslist. I didn't even tell them what happened. I just said it's a high mileage engine. You might want to change the oil. So that's what happened to the Shadow. What an embarrassing story. I'm full of embarrassing stories. I'm also kind of an idiot, but you know what? You guys figured that out already. I've been doing idiotic things. I kind of do that really well here. I like to deprecate. Now, where's the Concourse? Well, actually, the Concourse, I just sold it, for the sake of an upgrade. Now, to be fair, it needed to be serviced again, and I'll get into that. I was just tired of servicing it, so I needed to service it, so I just decided, instead of servicing it, I want to upgrade. I want a newer bike. So I'll get into that last, but that's the story. I'm getting an upgrade. I'm in the process of doing that. In fact, tomorrow morning, sorry, I got a burp. So that's the story. I'm getting an upgrade. It's a good thing. In fact, tomorrow morning I'm probably going to be pulling in the upgrade. So I'll get into that. But meantime, where have I been? So there's a few reasons why I've been gone. And I have to warn you right now, if you are here for the garage, the technical, the motorcycle stuff, this might be where you might want to go ahead and skip to the next video, because I am going to be posting another video here soon about that upgrade, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And I'll reveal at the end of this video what that upgrade is going to be, but the rest of this video I'm going to be talking about what's been going on with me. So why haven't I been posting? I've been pretty busy. I'm going to be honest with you, a little bit. I've been going through a lot. Some of it results in a little bit of disillusionment. Some of it results in being disheartened, a little bit less inclined to love the sport, which sucks because I really want to enjoy the sport. I really do. So let's just go through everything. Number 1, as you guys know, back in December 2017, I had knee surgery, major knee surgery. I had ACL repair. I was going around in crutches. You guys saw that. It took some time to recover. I was going through rehab, and I was halfway through the whole rehab process when I went through a job transition. I quit my job. Suddenly I didn't have income and I couldn't afford the rehab anymore. Now I've got to put everything on hold. So the rehab had to stop. So because the rehab stopped, I could have been rehabbing at home anyway, just following the instructions, but I really needed to focus on my new job. Once I found it, I needed to focus on it. So between that time span of about 2 months, I just didn't rehab. So after another month or two from there, so we're now 5 or 6 months past the surgery, I went in to see the surgeon and he was like, yeah, you're not, I can't clear you for this sport. He said, come back when you've done a proper rehab. I haven't been back. That said, I'm pretty sure the ACL repair is still in place. I just never got proper clearance. Good news is I've still been riding here and there. Bad news is I haven't been riding hardly at all. So which is it? Well, I've been riding here and there. So I've posted a bit of footage of riding around. You guys saw at the beginning of this video I've been doing a few things here and there. I've been enjoying myself here and there. I just haven't been all out like I was when I started. And I'm okay with that, except for the fact that I would really like to get back in the sport, except I can't because I'm now just entering the summer, the nasty Phoenix summer, the hot 110 degree weather summer. So that's the first part of why I haven't been posting. The second part, this is harder for me to get into, so I'm going to try to make it brief. When I got into this sport, I was involved heavily with a particular meetup group. I really enjoyed that meetup group. It was a really cool group of people, very, very enthusiastically excited about the sport. All of them, they were all enthusiastic about the sport. They all had some great advice. I really enjoyed hearing from them and sharing my thoughts, learning out loud. Unfortunately, I was so passionate about my learning process, sharing out loud, giving feedback about the feedback out loud. I got a little bit overdramatic myself. I got too emotionally involved and attached to the process. I created some drama myself, and that hurt me, and it offended some of them as well. In the long run, I had to walk away. I came back, but they eventually, weird story, I don't even want to get into it, but out of nowhere, they kicked me from the group when I had been quiet for months. They just decided to ban me from the group. Several months later, they decided to, hey, John, welcome back. We'll let you come back. And I was like, you know what? It's been half a year. Like I said, several months. It's been half a year. I'm hurt. Let's just not do this again. And that was painful. That was really painful because I had to wean myself from a really neat group of people. Some of them not so neat. Some of them actually were true jerks. And I'm not going to name them. I just have walked away. I don't even remember who was who anymore. I do know that I need to find another group and start over in this learning process and not be so emotionally involved and not be so dramatic and not be a jerk myself. So, by the way, if you're in the Phoenix area and you dual sport, please let me know. I'd like to go riding because I'm kind of short on people to ride with. That said, I did create a couple groups on Facebook. I've been building up membership. There's a local group in Arizona on Facebook called Sandhills State, (AZ), DS and ADV motorcycle riders, something like that. Anyway, check it out, look it up. That's for anywhere in Arizona. If you just want to be an Arizonan and you're a dual sport rider, whether a dual sport or ADV, get on there, learn out loud, share your experiences. And hopefully we might even be able to ride together if you can take the chance of tolerating an overly dramatic YouTuber. On a national level, if you're into dual sport riding and you want to just share bike model ideas and techniques and whatever, you just want to share out loud, regardless of the region you're into dual sport motorcycling, actually not even the national level, the international level, the world scale. There's another group I created, it's called Dual Sport Motorcycle Riders. Check it out, join the group, Dual Sport Motorcycle Riders. I am kind of busy, so it might take me a week to approve you, but I just want to make sure that everyone who signs up agrees to be a respectful person, because I don't want any jerks in the group. The third reason why I haven't been posting lately is because I've been going through some personal transformations of my own. I mentioned the job transition. I also had my wisdom teeth done. That was quite an adventure because I had to get a friend. I had to take some time off work. I had to do a recovery process. That was a big deal. I was 41 years old when that happened. I'm 42 now. I never got my wisdom teeth removed. Now that that's finally done, I'm happy. I also got crown and seals and fillings and major dental work. Nobody cares. Moving on. Also, you might notice, those of you who have seen my face before, I'm not wearing glasses. I finally got LASIK. I've been wanting LASIK my whole life. I can see now perfectly through these eyes, and I don't need to worry about my glasses. I've posted a number of videos with my glasses steaming up. I got tired of that. I want to be able to ride in the cold, in the warm, and not worry about my glasses steaming up or getting sweat in my eyes from the glasses being too close or whatever. It's also nice to be able to see perfectly. I can see perfectly. I've got eagle vision in this eye. I had to go back and get enhancement surgery in this eye. It's almost perfect now. So if you guys are wearing glasses, I would recommend, no matter what your age, I would recommend you consider getting LASIK. I got my LASIK for $700 per eye plus some additional expenses. That was through a Groupon. It was basically half off. So it was $700 per eye as a result of half off. Altogether, I spent somewhere about $3,000, $3,500. That included tear duct plugs, long-term tear duct plugs, and it included $1,000 to basically have lifetime free enhancements. So the only caveat is at the end of every year, I have to spend $100 on an eye exam. But as long as I do that, if there's any correction that needs doing on my eyes, I can get it done with the laser for free. So consider that. The folks I did it with was LASIK Vision Institute here in Phoenix, so check them out. Yes, I just endorsed them. I'm not getting anything from them. I'm just saying that's who I went with. They did a fine job, even though I had to get enhancement on this eye. Even so, I'm happy. It does take a few months to recover. Give it 2 or 3 months to recover before you get back in the sport. Just be aware. But once that's out of the way, you never have to worry about glasses again. That's what matters, right? By the way, you might ask, why didn't I just use contacts? Well, I'm in Phoenix, and Phoenix is very, very dry. And contacts and dryness don't mix. I'm sweating. Speaking of which, it's so hot. I got lighting and it's hot too. The fourth reason why I haven't been posting lately is because I've been focusing on getting out of debt. I have a steep credit card debt. Well, I'm still working on it. So this is an expensive sport, by the way, guys. Between getting parts for this thing and getting gear, like motorcycle pants like I'm wearing right now, helmets, everything. It's expensive, and if you're not paying attention, you can rack up a lot of credit card debt, and that's pretty stupid. I'd also like to get a new bike, and I keep telling myself I can't get a new bike until I actually am out of debt and I'm able to save up for a bike. So let's work on that, eh? I want to get an Africa Twin already, eh? Let's get an Africa Twin already, eh? So I'm like, okay, you know what? No more outings. Emergency rooms are expensive. No more exploring. Let's just focus on the debt. So that's actually, I didn't actually get into that earlier, but that is a big reason why I haven't been riding a lot lately. At least not out in the dangerous areas. I really just want to focus on getting out of debt so that I can afford to do this sport. Once I'm out of debt, I'm going to go crazy again and have some fun. I've made some good progress, but I'm kind of at a midway point. I'm halfway, sort of, pretty much, with getting out of debt, which is exciting. I can get into a whole different video on how to get out of debt, but ultimately it boils down to the principles that you can get from Dave Ramsey. So if you want to know how to get out of debt, go check out Dave Ramsey. He'll fill you in. He's got some great principles that you can live by, but ultimately it's all about the mindset that if I have to borrow something, then I can't afford it. If I don't have cash for something, I can't afford it. And if you can't afford it, don't get it. That said, I'm not there yet. I don't have that mindset completely, but I'm making progress. And I say that to get into the next topic, which is, what about that concourse? So the story of the concourse. I've been riding that thing to work pretty regularly. And by regularly, I mean maybe twice a week, not every day. The thing about that concourse, it needed servicing. So let me back up. Summer of last year, I went to Vegas and checked out AIM Expo. That was so much fun. I got to see a bunch of motorcycles and gear and a bunch of stuff going on everywhere. I took a bunch of pictures. Here's a bunch of pictures. More pictures. Yummy pictures. I had so much fun. I got to ride some bikes. In fact, actually, that's the reason why I went. I wanted to go ride some of these bikes, to do some demo rides. That was kind of the selling point to me. somebody said, hey, come to the AIM Expo and you can ride some bikes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So I went over there and rode some bikes. Anyway, to get there, I decided to take the Concourse. That's what it's a touring bike, so why not? Well, one reason why not is because in the heat of Phoenix, I kept blowing fuses. And this fuse, fortunately, the bike would still run with a blown fuse, but the whole dash would go out and the brake light would go out, and that's kind of dangerous. And it's a 4-hour ride to Vegas from Phoenix. And that's if I'm being pretty fast, moderately fast. Okay, that's if I'm going pretty darn fast. So I basically went with no brake light. I arrived, I did my thing. I kept swapping out the fuse, but it just kept blowing. While I was there, by the way, I had an experience. I rode a Yamaha FJR. Great bike, by the way. And I had a little incident. I was following the lead, and we got onto the freeway. We were almost done with the whole loop, and as we were trying to merge into the freeway, a car was sort of over here, and he was going to wait, but I thought he was going to go, and I opened up the throttle, and he hit his brakes at the exact same time, and I plowed right into him. So that's the first traffic incident I've ever had with a bike, and actually damaged that FJR pretty bad. As for his bike, I knocked off a pannier. So that was pretty embarrassing. Fortunately, I signed a waiver, so no harm, no foul. I mean, there was harm done, but I don't care because I'm just going to walk away and forget. Kind of like that Honda incident. I'm just going to try to forget about this. Bye. So anyway, I came back with that Concourse, the brake light out, the dash out, and eventually I got back, and over the winter, the air cooled, of course. Phoenix does get a little bit cool over the winter, so I got to put the fuse in, and actually the fuse stayed that time, of course, because it's cool weather. So this fuse was blowing because of the hot weather, I guess. Now the problem was I was getting like 26 miles to the gallon, and it didn't sound very good either. It sounded like it's not really truly revving very well. It took like 10 or 15 seconds to rev it up to get it actually to run. So I'm like, I feel bad riding this thing. I feel bad revving this thing and riding it to work. I feel like I'm doing damage to this motorcycle just by using it. That's not a good feeling. When you feel bad about your motorcycle just using it, you're not in a good situation. So that's basically the story. I knew I needed to get it serviced. I don't want to pay for somebody to fix the electrical on this thing, and I sure don't want to pay for somebody to dig into the engine. So let's just let it go. So I put about $1,500 into buying it, plus another $1,000 or maybe $1,500 or so into fixing it up. So that's altogether $2,500 to $3,000 invested in the Concourse. I sold it for $1,100. Ouch. The thing is, if I got it fixed up, I could have sold it for what I bought it for, and I would have broken even again anyway. I $300 or $400 into fixing it up and getting it working well, and then selling it for $1,500. Not really worth it. So yeah, I kind of broke even. Good news is I sold it for the sake of an upgrade, and now the question is, what am I upgrading to? Well, I'll tell you what. That experience with that FJR that I went and had in Nevada on that demo ride, that was an interesting experience because I realized that was actually a pretty good bike. Now the FJR is a competitor to the Concourse. I had been wanting a Concourse, but I didn't really see anything on Craigslist that was used that was as affordable as an FJR, and I like an FJR anyway. So that's the upgrade. It's a beautiful FJR. It's the same color. It actually, a lot of people are thinking it's the same bike. No, it's actually 8 years newer. So it's 2007. I'm looking forward to bringing it home. That'll be in my next video, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything I'm thinking about this thing, both the good and the bad. It's not all good, but it's mostly good. There's a few things I want to do to it. There's a few things I'm losing out on it that I'm going to try to restore, and we'll get into that, but that'll be in the next video. So there's my big update. I'm tired. It's late. I need to get some sleep because tomorrow morning I'm going to hit the road and go pick up my FJR, and I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to share with you guys what I'm thinking about it. So thanks guys for waiting out for this. If you actually got this far, wow, thanks. Meanwhile, my neighbors can hear me, so I gotta shut this down. Paper thin walls over there. I gotta turn this light off too. It's burning me up. have a good day or night or whatever when you see this. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.